Do all these celebrities really need skincare lines? Celebrities have always put their name on things, whether it's perfumes, t-shirts, backpacks, jewelry, even Bruce Willis has a cologne with his name and face on it. But is it different with skincare? Skincare isn't makeup or a dress that you can put on and just wash off. Skincare actually gets into cosmetic chemistry and the anatomy of skin and how it works. Yet all of these celebrities seem to be coming out with skincare routines and leaving people asking if they're actually worth the money. Is this something that these celebrities care about and they're passionate to create? Or is this just a blatant money grab? And it goes even deeper. Why do we trust celebrities so much? What is the psychology behind us idolizing celebrities and seeing them as godly or all-knowing? Why do so many people trust celebrities and public figures more so than doctors, dermatologists, or licensed experts? You're gonna need a snack or a cup of wakey wakey juice for this one. It is hot, and it is not tea. It is something much stronger. Let's start with discussing the celebrity identity. What is a celebrity? As according to definitions.net, a celebrity is a person who has a prominent profile and commands some degree of public fascination and influence in day-to-day media. When we think about that, certain people come to mind. Singers, actors and actresses, the Kardashian family, even some influencers or TikTokers. The actual definition from Webster is that a celebrity is a person who has been celebrated. Historians argue that the first celebrity was Alexander the Great and he enjoyed godlike status. But today's celebrities are quite different, and we do idolize some, but we do demonize others. Psychology Today quoted PhD Leo Browdy by saying, "We're in the Kleenex phase of fame. We see so much of people, and in all branches of the media. We blow our nose on every new star that happens to come along and then dispose of them." But even with that in mind, why do we tend to fixate on celebrities? Why do we tend to trust them so much? If you look at Gwyneth Paltrow, she has Goop, this wellness brand, and they've been called a cult before. Arguably, she does have some cult-like status. Look at the Kardashians. They have literally built an empire on just being famous. And whether or not you personally agree or disagree with their narratives and what they're doing, they make products and those products sell. Everything from lip kits to questionable gambling games. In the words of Mariah Carey, why we so obsessed with thee? Live science says that in most cases, it's perfectly natural. Humans are social creatures, psychologists say, and we evolved and still live in an environment where it paid to pay attention to the people at the top. Celebrity fascination may be an outgrowth of this tendency, nourished by the media and technology. James Harren, a psychologist, says that in our society, celebrities act like a drug. They're around us everywhere, and they are an easy fix. And it's no surprise that celebrities have money, but what the general population doesn't know is that celebrities don't just have money. They get a lot of that stuff for free. Whether it's Gucci and Chanel sending the Kardashians literal free designer clothing in bags just so that they're promoted. Whether it's $400 to $2,000 moisturizers and eye creams given by La Mer to celebrities that then go show them on Vogue. Or even influencer trips to exotic islands that nourish the influencer digital celebrity space, like those from Tarte Cosmetics that we saw a few years ago. But not only does the stereotypical celebrity like to have money and show off their money, but they also like to earn more money. Celebrities are known to put their name on anything, and in some cases it kind of seems like celebrities are just glorified walking billboards, which is harmful because underneath all of that, at the bottom, these are humans. We see celebrities in traditional commercials and advertisements, whether it's watches or makeup, but celebrities also create their own things: clothing lines, businesses, partnerships with large brands, skincare and makeup lines. From endorsement deals to creating their own products to ripping off other people's products and ideas and just repackaging them and reselling them, there are a lot of questionable things that are being sold out there as well, such as these harmful detox teas or 21-day diet plans. But diarrhea detox teas and Instagram celebrities are a topic for another video. Coming soon. Have you given celebrity status to the like button yet? If not, be sure to do so and subscribe so you don't miss it when we talk about that. But back to celebrities shilling their Teen Vogue reached out to beauty historian Rachel Weingarten to find out more. She said that the obsession over celebrities' beauty ways are nothing new. Weingarten dates society's fascination with this celeb beauty all the way back to ancient Egypt. Historically, the girls of history inspired beauty trends. Think of Cleopatra's exaggerated eye look, or Elizabeth's pale face and red hair. Growing up and in my youth, the first celebrity items or things that I was really exposed to were like those clothing lines at Kohl's, kind of like Baby Fat or Avril Lavigne's clothing line spinoff, or the Britney Spears perfume. And I think that was the first celebrity beauty item that I was ever exposed to and I ever purchased. And I must say that as a young girl, I was obsessed with Britney. Her Oops, I Did It Again album sat on my bookshelf and I would turn over every single day in the morning and look at it. And when I would get home from school, we had this big mirror in my family's entryway and I would literally dance in front of it and get extraordinarily embarrassed if my brother or my mom or my dad saw me dancing to it. And when her Fantasy perfume came out and I saw it at Kohl's with her name on it, I hadn't even smelled it, but I wanted it so bad. And not only did I buy it, but I also bought the second and the third, and I actually kept those way past their expiration date into my adult years. Until I realized that fragrances were irritating my skin, they were unnecessary to me, and thank goodness I got rid of them, as well as the unhealthy mentality that went along with idolizing Britney's body, or idolizing other singers or celebrities that looked a certain way. Personal caveat, I grew up without being able to watch TV, so most of these celebrities that I actually idolized were singers or musicians as opposed to actors or actresses. Just because as a child I had three options: Mythbusters, late night Crawford for TV, or get your ass outside. But perfumes didn't just start with celebrities, they actually started in a different era. During the World Wars, Gillette's men's razors were being marketed towards women. When all of the men went to war, these razor companies had to sell, and they needed to keep it moving. So they started to create advertisements that actually targeted women's body hair, which before that time was a very normal thing to have. But along with that came other things, such as tights and perfumes, marketed towards 40s and 50s housewives as a way to impress your soldier when he comes back from war. Audrey Hepburn was definitely a celebrity of the time, and although she collaborated with Givenchy on a perfume, this was more of a celebrity endorsement rather than a celebrity line. The first truly branded celebrity perfume actually came out in 1981. Sophia Loren launched a celebrity scent with Coty, which, fun fact, is still one of the biggest names in beauty today and still owns the majority of both celebrity and even non-celebrity fragrances. After that came Cher in 1987, where we saw a music celebrity branding with perfume. And then in the 90s, Elizabeth Taylor came out with all of her perfumes, from white pearls to black diamonds. And my mom actually had some of these fragrances that I ended up stealing from her bathroom, and I would put them on my little vanity shelf. Then we fast forward to my late 90s and early 2000s youth. We're talking the Britney Spears perfume, the Paris Hilton perfume, and even the Jennifer Lopez perfume, which arguably did not smell bad. Not long after came Katy Perry and Taylor Swift, and some of these fragrances were even sold in major retailers like Nordstrom, where before these spots were reserved for more prestigious or luxury lines. Nowadays we've got Ariana Grande, and we even have influencers selling beauty and perfume items, such as Gabby DiMartino. And her perfume, A Beautiful Mess. But again, perfume is arguably something a little bit less harmless. What about stuff that we actually put on our face? What about these skincare lines? What are these celebrities pushing? Is it healthy or harmful, and is it for the right reasons? In order to talk about that, we have to talk about what came first, which was makeup, which is arguably a very creative outlet. It's something you can put on and wash off. Can it cause skin irritation or contact dermatitis? Yes, absolutely. But it's a lot easier and less committal to try and play with makeup than it is to commit to a skincare routine. Especially since skincare routines are expecting results. Many are there to fix a problem or talk about hygiene, the health of a condition, whereas makeup is a creative expression. It's how we present ourselves to the world. And the first celebrity makeup line that I could find dates back to 1994. It was Iman. She was an iconic Somalian model who had left the industry 5 years earlier, and she decided to create a makeup line, not because she was trying to slap her name on a product, but she saw that there was an issue in the industry. The brand was proudly made for women with skin of color, with shades that were diverse and inclusive, especially at a time where racial diversity in beauty was even less spoken about than it is today. And Iman, as a model, knew firsthand what it felt like to sit down in a makeup artist's chair and for them to have no shades that matched her skin or her undertone. And it brought to light an issue that we still grapple with in the cosmetics industry today. Unlike today's celebrity lines, she actually created her own celebrity makeup line, and it wasn't under some large conglomerate or funded by any of these large parent beauty companies. The brand is hardly ever talked about in the media and the online space today, but it's still around. It's sold at Walmart and Target, and yes, even Amazon. It took another decade, 10 years, for the next celebrity makeup line to be launched, and it was Jessica Simpson's Dessert in 2004. It was marketed as this makeup line that was different. Jessica Simpson had created it, she was on the forefront, and all of it made you smell delectable. It was edible, and it was supposed to be a treat for both the way you looked and anyone who was using it. The brand was originally met with a ton of excitement, and then lawsuits. The company who actually manufactured the dessert makeup line said that they had not been paid, even though the investors and the business people behind the Jessica Simpson dessert line were making millions of dollars. They opened up a legal battle. I think they argued around $800,000, but they very interestingly left Jessica Simpson out of the lawsuit. They were trying to sue the entertainment corporations and the people who were behind it, not Jessica Simpson, the celebrity herself, which now, in retrospect, really shows us how a celebrity is just a marketing tool that is slapped onto a brand, and not always intrinsically tied into it. They specifically targeted the shareholders, saying that Jessica Simpson was merely a spokesperson. Blame it on the legal troubles, blame it on the questionable products, either way, the line today is out of business. But Jessica Simpson quickly moved on to other things. Clothing, shoes, and in 2020 she was even talking about her horrific skin troubles during the pandemic. So I would not be surprised if that is some strategic foreshadowing and we see a skincare line coming out this or maybe next year. Jessica Simpson really seems to be the first example of a celebrity billboard brand that really is more commonplace nowadays. A celebrity or a public figure not really knowing a lot about an industry or having a huge passion for it, but slapping their name on something that they know will sell quick. A celebrity latching onto something with a questionable passion for it. Funded by investors at large corporations, milking it for what they can, and if it refuses to be viable, then quickly moving on to the next thing. In 2005, Jennifer Aniston came out with Living Proof, and again, it was built up to be this amazing celebrity line, but it was sold to a large parent company. And the second that it was, she as the celebrity stepped down. It was sold in 2016 to Unilever, one of the large beauty industry conglomerates. And then Jennifer Aniston cut ties with it, and arguably, I don't know about you, but I haven't heard of it since. Josie Moran was an actress and a model, but she wasn't well known until she was the face of Maybelline, and I personally didn't know about her at all. I just knew of the cosmetics line. It wasn't until I was doing research for this video that I actually realized she is a person and a celebrity behind it, because I always thought of them for their argan oil skincare and for their quote-unquote clean makeup, which then transitioned into skincare back in 2007. And yes, it is still alive and strong at Sephora today. It was branded as one of the first eco-friendly and natural lines. And then comes 2008 with Gwyneth Paltrow and her goopy, sticky, questionable motives behind creating a line, and also the pseudoscience that this wellness brand pushes. In 2009, we had Cora Cosmetics with Victoria's Secret model Miranda Kerr. And in 2011, there was Salma Hayek, which I purchased products from. I liked her makeup line, and what do you know, it's since been discontinued. Most people don't know that the Kardashians did beauty before Kylie Jenner and before Kim Kardashian's KKW Beauty. In 2012, they actually launched Chroma Beauty, but they shut down very quickly due to legal issues. Drew Barrymore launched Flower Beauty in 2013, and it's arguably a really good, affordable brand. She is the face of it, she kind of smacked her face on it, but the products tend to work. They're affordable and inexpensive, and I've actually used and enjoyed quite a few of them. In 2015, Wander Beauty came out. This is a brand that I love. I think their formulations are excellent. I love their wanderlust, whimsical branding and packaging, but I didn't know that it was a celebrity line. It's Lindsay Ellingson's, and I didn't even know who she was until I was creating this video. And yes, the brand is still around and alive today, and I have some of it in my bathroom right now. And 2015 brought us Kylie Jenner's Kylie Cosmetics, a conglomerate that would eventually be sold to Coty after There's some fake Forbes billionaire claims and some questionable denial of lip filler and other cosmetic surgeries. Not long after Kim Kardashian and her KKW Beauty came out, even the, what's the other one, the Kourtney sister, she launched Poosh, which is a slightly less culty version of Goop, and all of these are now multi-million beauty companies that have these celebrities as faces on them, but do these people really know or really care about the science, the art, or the creativity that goes into creating and formulating things such as cosmetics or a skincare brand? 2015 also brought us Jessica Alba's Honest Beauty. It came out as something that was supposed to be safe for moms, it was supposed to be super transparent, but it didn't come without legal issues, such as a lawsuit when it came to their sunscreen, which is very interesting seeing as Korean sunscreens right now are heavily under fire. But back when Honest Beauty had a similar blunder, it wasn't covered as widely in the digital beauty or the YouTube influencer space. I wonder if that's because of the timing and what YouTube was in 2015 versus now, or if it's got something else to do with PR, xenophobia, or the way that we hear about, consume, and judge brands. 2017 brought us Fenty by Rihanna, which was an immediate success. Not only were they diverse and inclusive, but they had excellent formulas. They were sold at Sephora, and guess what? They were created by Coty, that big brand that first started with celebrity perfumes back in the 60s. But we can't forget about 2013. Michelle Phan was the first influencer to team up with L'Oreal to create her own makeup line. It was titled M Cosmetics, and it was originally seen as like an overpriced Lancome. It did not do very well, and she actually had to buy it back and then rebrand it in 2017. 2019 brought us Lady Gaga and her House Cosmetics with an avant-garde feel and some edgy colors. And then 2020 happened. People were staying home. Celebrities weren't acting or performing. The entire entertainment industry was shaken, as well as the rest of the world. And call it stress, call it genetics, or call it something else, but maskne became a thing as well. We have seen celebrity skincare lines crawl out of the woodwork, from Fenty and Rihanna doing Fenty Skin to Pharrell Williams actually launching a skincare line that is inclusive and has Braille for people who are blind. But we do have to back up just a few steps because, like Perfume and The Rich Life, Paris Hilton did it first, and so did Madonna and a couple of other celebrities. One of the first celebrity skincare lines that I can think of are Cindy Crawford's Meaningful Beauty line. This to me was basically like a giant infomercial. It would come on TV after my Mythbusters or at like odd hours of the morning, and it would be Cindy Crawford, this gorgeous model, teaming up with some doctor to talk about pumpkin stem cell extract and sell this $70 to $120 kit of skincare products that you absolutely need. Is the science there? I'm not sure, but shockingly, Cindy Crawford did actually team up with a doctor and some cosmetic chemists to create this, which is arguably a lot better than what we see from today's celebrity skincare lines. Even former First Lady Melania Trump attempted a now defunct skincare line based on fish eggs, a caviar complex that never made it to full fruition, but was really swept under the rug quite secretly and seemingly disappeared. She was promoting it on TV, she was hyping it up, and then radio silence. It vanished before it ever made it onto shelves. Paris Hilton launched a skincare line in 2018 called Pro DNA. But Paris Hilton herself said that DNA is a cell.
It repairs your DNA cells.
All biology majors are collectively crying right now. The Pro DNA skincare line was marketed to be luxury with this diamond dust, but there's no diamond dust in it. There are ingredients that make it sparkly, and yes, ingredients that are carbon-based, but the line and the chemistry in it in reality is far away from the claims that Paris Hilton or other people are making. And I didn't have these conversations with Paris Hilton or the company personally, but I can almost guarantee you that Paris Hilton was not in there in the lab formulating, doing the chemistry, and helping out on these things. It looks like she slapped her name onto a line, wanted to make it luxury, rub it on her face, and encourage her followers to do the same. Celebrity billboard branding at its finest, but now we're getting into skin. Even Madonna had a skincare line that came to the United States in 2019, but I didn't realize until I was researching this that it actually started in 2014 overseas. She was selling these large massage rollers for $350, along with some rose-scented water for $100. And when you look at the rose-scented water, just like the rest of the line, yeah, it's pretty questionable and, in my personal opinion, grossly overpriced. We also saw many celebrities who were already in the beauty or makeup side of the business divide and conquer in skincare. Again, Riri, Fenty turning into Fenty Skin, Kylie Jenner and her Kylie Cosmetics turning into Kylie Skin at the end of 2019. And with Kylie Skin specifically, we saw almost a game of copycat. It wasn't Kylie Jenner working on these formulations, being passionate about the project, or really caring about the cosmetic chemistry. It was a group of board members, of investors, seeking the industry for the top-selling products, ripping off these formulations from other brands, pumping them chock full of kiwi oil and fragrance, and putting them in these vomitrocious, matte, Pepto-Bismol pink packages. There was a ton of criticism when it comes to these products, specifically the fact that Kylie Jenner has a young, impressionable following. She's had tons of cosmetic procedures, plastic surgery, fillers, etc., which no harm to her, but she claims that it's her skincare line and her makeup line that help get her those looks, not $4,000 facials or access to world-class doctors and plastic surgeons. Specifically, criticism about the walnut scrub and how, yes, based on the ingredients and the actual walnut shards inside, it could damage skin, especially if people go too rough, as well as some anecdotal evidence of people posting videos online of them trying her products and actually having their skin end up worse than when they started. In 2020, we did see more celebrities coming out with skincare lines, but arguably, there are some that I would put my money behind. Pharrell Williams came out with Humankind, which was arguably done really well. The ingredients are excellent, the packaging is great, and they even have Braille on them for people who are blind. The line isn't overly excessive, it's not a million things that you need to buy, it's more of some of the basics, and they're made with more carbon neutral packaging. Same with Fenty Skin, they didn't launch with a million things that you absolutely need to buy that were overly hyped. I personally was not a huge fan of the Fenty Skin line, but for people who are not sensitive to fragrance, for people who want skincare that is good, it is basic, and they don't have a skin condition or problem to treat, it's arguably a really good line. Even Alicia Keys brought us a skincare line called Soul Care, based on her philosophy of wellness and well-being. And at least with Alicia Keys and Rihanna, it feels a little bit more authentic. Riri is from the Caribbean, and there's this Barbados cherry that she actually puts into the line. It's sentimental. She's not a cosmetic chemist, but she did work with some cosmetic chemists to help create the line. And she even created a Hydrovisor moisturizer that was made for skin of color, so that you could get a sunscreen that doesn't obnoxiously flash back and that is quote-unquote reef safe. I don't know much about Pharrell Williams, I only know that his music is great, but was that a really good move? And is that skincare line really aligned with who he is, his philosophy, and what he believes in? Or is it just a money grab? I'm not sure, but based on the products, the ingredients, and the formulas are pretty good. Now, within a matter of months, we saw more celebrity skincare lines, specifically Carmen Electra and Jennifer Lopez with her olive oil. Carmen Electra's really came out of left field. I'm not sure what that was about, but the ad campaign was done during COVID, so understandably, they couldn't go all out like Fenty Skin did, but it looked pretty questionable, and I actually got some of the products in PR, and let me tell you, oh, they were cheap. They're called Go-Go, based off of her go-go dancing, which, shake it, more power to ya sis, but these products were not it. The packages were crusty, the name was coming off on some of them, and I think that they were formulated on like peptides or something. The marketing behind it is that these absolutely transformed her skin, that she's so passionate about skincare, that these are amazing, and I'm like, girl, I've never heard you talk about skincare before. These are really questionable, and yeah, they have peptides, but like there's nothing revolutionary in here. Stop overstating this. And then of course, Jennifer Lopez's olive oil, leaving dermatologists and experts everywhere absolutely confused. There is no doubt that Jenny is the queen of the block. Her music is amazing. What she stands for is so empowering. I, as well as other people, love her for a myriad of reasons. But to launch a skincare line that's based on olive oil, to sit here and say, I'm so excited, everyone's been asking me about my skin, and then throw this into the marketplace, it just seems like another one of these billboard celebrity moves that now is dabbling in skincare. There is no doubt that women, specifically female celebrities, are unfairly criticized when it comes to beauty, specifically beauty and aging. The pressure is so immense, it is daily, and I cannot imagine what it feels like to constantly be judged, bombarded, and even compared to others for a process that happens naturally and arguably should be celebrated. Even Charlotte, one of my internet friends and a content creator on TikTok, was talking about how female celebrities age versus male celebrities, and this expectation that females almost have to be frozen in time, whereas for men, it's almost hard to find a male celebrity's name attached to his age. And if it is, it's talking about how his grays are foxy, or his lines are making him look so mature and alluring, like Anderson Cooper, what a silver fox. So I cannot imagine that pressure, and I don't blame Jennifer Lopez or any other celebrity for seeking out treatments, surgeries, even elixirs, etc. The pressure is immense. Undeniably, whether I like it or not, I am an influencer, and I see that as I can be a positive influence or a negative influence. But I know all the tricks in the book. I'm so excited, and You Have All Been Asking Me is really the oldest trick in the book. Like, we're seeing right through it. And having experience in medical aesthetics, even though Jennifer Lopez has claimed that she's never had Botox, botulinum toxin can be injected into the face through other names. The exact same neurotoxin that can cause muscle weaknesses so that your face can't emote and therefore you don't get wrinkles can be sold under names. So you could technically say, I've never had Botox, but you've had Dysport. Jennifer Lopez has gone on record saying that she's never had Botox, but she is accrediting her skincare routine and olive oil for doing these amazing things to her face. But okay, if you've been using olive oil and sunscreen for the past 30 years, why are you selling us this brand instead of telling everyone to go slap some olive oil and some SPF 50 on their face? There are plastic surgeons such as Dr. Yoon who have speculated on what surgeries she's had done. And again, the fact that we do this to women and that we judge their appearances like this is completely unfair and misogynistic when we look at this not happening to male counterparts, especially in the celebrity world. I have an entire video on her skincare line, my initial thoughts, etc. There are some other dermatologists and doctors online that I will link in the bottom tab, and I encourage you to check those out as well. But the moral of the story is that double speak is used by celebrities, by public figures, etc. to kind of skirt the truth. And then if you're doing that in order to sell products, when is that protecting yourself and protecting your privacy and your choices versus being deceptive and having dishonest marketing? I mean, based on that logic, I could technically say no, I haven't been drinking coffee during this video. I've been sipping on hot bean juice. I found out that even someone by the name of Rosie Huntington Whitley, which with full transparency as always, I don't even know who that is and I'm so sorry, but apparently this is a celebrity who is launching a clean beauty collaborative in the spring of 2021. But it doesn't stop there, because you know that the influencers are not far behind. Morphe and James Charles had collaborated together to do things like the Rainbow Palette back before the pandemic, or we've seen brands like Too Faced have influencers like Jackie Aina as the face of their foundation launch, or Nikki Tutorials as a palette. But it seems like skincare brands are the next big thing. The one that is arguably on the tip of everyone's tongues and up inside of their social media feeds is Emma Chamberlain and Morphe collaborating together to create Bad Habit. This is a skincare brand that is now sold at Ulta. It has this really fun, authentic packaging. It is marketed towards Gen Z, and Emma Chamberlain is the face of a brand, but a lot of people don't realize that is created by Morphe. And Emma Chamberlain, as talented and relatable as she is, she's not a cosmetic chemist and she wasn't really in the lab creating this. She put her face on it. And it does feel very authentic to who she is, but I feel that we need to look into it more. There's also this 121 1212 door something skin that just came out. This is from a family vlogger, the Ace family, I believe, and someone created a skincare line or something of that nature. And I don't personally watch her content or their family content online, so I can't speak to whether or not that line is just a cash grab or something very authentic to her. But it further supports what we've been seeing in celebrities or in influencers, just adding their names to things or creating things more often. I am obsessed with Liza Koshy. I have loved her content for years. She was the first YouTuber that my mom actually started watching. But I'm not gonna lie, Liza Koshy and her C'est Moi, or Sieste Moi as I have called it in the past, they created this skincare launch line routine together, and it kind of felt like a cash grab. Liza had been off of YouTube for personal reasons for a number of months or even years, and she did pop back on to talk about this new launch. This was met with, of course, criticism, since there seems to be a trend of YouTubers or influencers that were once very connected and regular with their audience, just falling off the platform for one or multiple reasons, but then only coming back when they have something to promote or when they have something to sell. And similar to a friendship in which that friend only calls you when they want to borrow money or they want something from you or they need something, you can see where that actually really hurts on the receiving end. As a viewer of hers myself, I know what that feels like. I am very interested in c'est moi. I do like a lot of ingredients in the line, but was this just a cash grab, or is this something that Liza is really passionate about? Even Jeffree Star has a trademark for Star Skin. He is probably launching a skincare line. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone now. I actually did a video talking about this a year, maybe even 2 years ago. Was it before the pandemic or not? I can't remember. No one was talking about it. Maybe no one had looked at it, but I'm pretty sure that is in the loop. And coming from someone who has told Black women to put bleach on their skin to lighten it as part of a joke, or so he says. In addition to this coming from someone who doesn't know what glycerin is and thinks that all alcohol is drying, I can't help but feel like this skincare line is another one of these talking celebrity billboard heads. Arguably, Jeffree Star does love the luxury life. He does love his cosmetics. I know that he does use brands like La Mer and Lancome and these very luxurious things. But to see someone who doesn't understand those things just pivot to creating them literally just months after critiquing Kylie Skin without really understanding why or how, this is subjective to my experience as a viewer. But yes, I can't help but be skeptical and a little bit concerned about the trend that's coming out of all this. Even Patrick Star, I love Patrick Star, undeniably one of the most talented makeup artists that we have today. Simultaneously, Patrick Star launched this makeup line that's not even a makeup line, it's 2 skincare products, and one is like a makeup melting spray and the other is literally a pack of makeup wipes that just contributes to landfills, and they're basically expensive fragranced baby wipes for your face that just push cosmetics around and arguably don't even get them out of pores. As a first cleanse, if you go with a regular cleanser, then maybe, but if it's not an emergency, if you're not in the woods, why are people using makeup wipes? And even more importantly, why are celebrities and influencers like this pushing them? And I have a feeling that this is just the beginning of it, but we're already getting tired. You can put on a new shade of lipstick each day. You can change your eyeliner. You can even change the foundation that you wear. You can change the clothing that you put on or the perfume that you spray. And like the Kardashians showed us, yes, celebrities can monetize every single aspect of this and still create something that people enjoy to use and consume. But as someone who's had 10 years in the industry, as someone who's been an acne sufferer for the past 15, and as somebody who has studied skincare both personally, regularly, and medically, the skin is not something to mess around with. This isn't something that you can slap something on and see a change in on the same day, unless it's a primer in which it's just makeup, right? Skincare is different. The anatomy of the skin and the biology of our bodies is beautiful, and the chemistry of these formulas are very complex. And if you look at the medical data, the medical studies, and how the anatomy of our bodies actually work, our skin takes time to renew itself. Collagen formation is an insanely complex process. Dealing with acne or wounds or hyperpigmentation, these are not to be taken lightly. And even the medical data shows that regular cellular turnover, it's about 28 days. You really have to use a product for a minimum of a month to actually see results. And normally a dermatologist will give you a prescription and tell you to come back in 3 to 6 months, because that's how long it takes to actually see changes in the skin. This isn't something that you can put on, see results, and then wipe it off in a couple of hours. This is something that is working with the anatomy and the biology of you, and that takes a lot of time. And I think that in a Kleenex celebrity world, where we are used to consuming 15-second viral TikTok videos and fast content and new trends coming out every single day, applying skincare to almost that fast fashion model is a horrible idea, because it's going to leave people with improper expectations, lots of wasted money, lots of stress, and even potential harm if they're using products that aren't right for their skin, or they're trying to treat a condition that shouldn't be treated by some celebrity's new skincare line. And this could also lead to the continued unethical use of filters when it comes to selling skincare and cosmetics. I think there's nothing wrong with using Photoshop and filters as art, but when used improperly, those can become weapons. And if I'm trying to purchase something for my skin, or even purchase makeup, a lipstick of a certain color, I as a consumer want to see what that's actually going to look like, what it's actually going to do for me. I don't want to see someone's photoshopped beautiful face. If I did, then okay, put it in a gallery. Let me go Google it online, or put it it in some sort of beautiful photo shoot or content for me to watch and enjoy. I don't want that in my skincare ads when I'm looking to fix a problem or deal with a concern that I have, or choose cosmetics that are going to give me a look that arguably that advertising should reflect. Skincare is so personal, and it often dances with the boundaries of medical conditions. Think acne, think eczema, think psoriasis, even rosacea, hyperpigmentation, scars. These are arguably medical conditions. And while there are some over-the-counter products that can help or can treat them, if you're looking to treat a legit condition, please see a licensed professional, a licensed dermatologist. I love YouTube skincare. I consume the content in this world as well as partly create it. I do have credentials, which sets me apart a little bit, but I don't want that to detract from the people who are skincare reviewers or entertainers who create amazing content, help people learn to wear their sunscreens, help people explore new brands, and learn new ways to express ourselves and care for our skin and get passionate about cosmetic chemistry. I mean, The Ordinary, something I love so much about this brand is that it got people to start looking at their ingredients more. It made the connection between chemistry and cosmetics and how STEM is so important and vital to everything, including our beauty routines. I think that this is a wonderful space for that to happen. But if it gets overly filtered, overly monetized, photoshopped, and if people are just jumping in from everywhere without credentials, without passion, without background, just slapping their face on something to make a couple bucks, it really does ruin it for all of us. We get this retail overwhelm. We start to question if it's really us or if the products just don't work. We almost feel betrayed by an industry. And disclaimer, I have an inherent bias here. I grew up having acne. I've studied this. It's been my passion. It's been this community for so long. And I've firsthand felt the pain of buying products based on a celebrity's recommendation that don't work. But I've also seen how harmful that can be for audience members, for community members who have listened to a celebrity purchase their routine when they didn't need a celebrity routine from Miranda Kerr. They needed to see a dermatologist for their grade 4 cystic acne. And I wish that that information and that distinction between what you can treat over the counter and what you need to get medical help for would be a more distinct line. And unfortunately, I feel that celebrities, influencers, they are strategically blurring that line for the sake of their profits and their sales. Skincare is a moment of self-care, it is hygiene, and it can be fun. But do these celebrities truly care about or even understand the products? Or are they just looking to create something of novelty, a new trend, something that they can make money with and run? I do believe that there are some celebrities and figures that truly partner with experts, with dermatologists and cosmetic chemists to actually make a really great formula, even if they themselves don't have those credentials, that know-how, or that passion. Again, kind of going back to Fenty Skin, Riri is from the Caribbean, and she really puts a lot of that personal experience and her personal touches into her products. Same with Alicia Keys and her soul care. The line actually feels more like an embodiment of her. And love her or hate her, but arguably Kylie Jenner and the Kylie Skin line was created by some chemists and by some professionals in the industry that literally copied formulations such as Supergoops, added some QE scent and oil and fragrance to it, and are selling it at a lower price. And again, regardless of opinions or ideas around the Jenner family, we have to see objectively that competition in the marketplace is a good thing. If Supergoop is being sold for $34 and the Kylie Skin sunscreen is being sold for $28 with an almost identical feel with very comparable ingredients, that creates competition in the marketplace. That stops Supergoop or another sunscreen company from having a monopoly. And it makes really great products that feel wonderful under makeup affordable to more people. And especially because SPF is your BFF, it's the most important step in a skincare routine, that really matters at the end of the day. But then again, we arguably have lines that push misinformation, such as Goop by Gwyneth Paltrow. Call it a blog, call it a lifestyle, call it a cult, call it what you want. But the misinformation, the medical malpractice, the lawsuits, they kind of speak for themselves. But when we are trusting a celebrity like Gwyneth Paltrow over licensed practitioners and individuals, and specifically from their end for the purpose of us parting with our hard-earned money, yeah, that is something that we should be skeptical of, we should question, and we should not blindly trust. Even the Carmen Electra Go-Go skincare line, if you want to purchase it to support her, fine, but you're gonna have to do so as a subscription so that they can lock you in and hope you don't remember to cancel that on your credit card and they can bill you an exorbitant amount for questionable products every single month. And they say that history repeats itself, and similar to the perfume and the makeup lines of the past, we see celebrities lining up to slap their names on these things, inflate them, sell them to stakeholders, and then step down and off. And yes, I'm looking at Kylie Jenner, who supposedly lied to Forbes magazine to get inflated as a billionaire status right before she strategically sold 51% of the company to a large parent company. And now the brand has been struggling a bit more, and if you look at the financials and if you look at even the statements that Forbes magazine has put out, it looks like Kylie Skin, Kylie Cosmetics, all of these things might not have been doing more than about 30 to 60 million. And that's still a shit ton of money, but that is a far cry from the 600 million that the Jenner family was trying to push the narrative of. I was literally watching a YouTube video this morning and it had an ad for Loops skincare, and I was like, oh, Loops skincare, what is this? It's another celebrity skincare line. It's by someone by the name of Emily Ratajkowski. She seems lovely. I have no idea who she is or why she's a celebrity, but she now has a skincare line. But she did sell it to stakeholders, and she is no longer the majority shareholder. She is a minority stakeholder and creative director, meaning she'll still be in the advertisements. But again, it kind of seems like slap a name on it, inflate it, sell it for lots of money, and then, oh, I'm just gonna see myself out the back door now. It's pretty much official. Every celebrity now has some sort of a beauty line or a skincare line, and our wallets have a bottom line. The question isn't, does every celebrity need a skincare line? As according to the investors of these companies, the answer is absolutely yes. The real question is, do we need to be more selective and more careful with who we listen to, who we trust, and who we shop from when they promote? Just because someone is beautiful on Instagram or knows how to pose in a magazine doesn't mean that we should trust them with our skin health or our wallets. So how do we navigate this? Either get the education, study the stuff, figure out the answers for yourself, or find someone that you trust. Find the dermatologists, the medical journals, find the science-backed influencers, the licensed professionals, the PhDs, the people that you trust to do the digging and the research for you and give you information that is as honest and accurate as possible. And specifically when it comes to these lines, find the lines that collaborated with doctors and dermatologists. Find the cosmetic chemists that are speaking up about these things. Find the influencers or the creators that are actually passionate about understanding the story behind the brand, the formulation, or how they work, not just the celebrities putting their last names on different items and things so that they can try to sell them, mark them up, appease some shareholders, and then leave with their own discount. In my experience with patients and clients, there are two different types of people. There are one that just want the answers, just give it to me, do the work for me, hand it over. And then there's the type of person that wants to explain things. They want to figure things out. They're genuinely curious and they want to ask you to help them understand things, explore things deeper, and really enjoy that process. So figure out which one you are and figure out how you're going to navigate that in the best way possible. Does every celebrity need a skincare, makeup, and beauty line? No. I think that the entire industry needs a makeover. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk where I have sat here on the floor for like 3 hours. It's been great. I would love to hear what you agree or disagree with in the comments. Again, if you have not given celebrity status to that like and subscribe button, please appease them. Algorithmic gods, please bless us, because I feel that these topics are not often discussed. I feel like a lot of people are afraid to speak up to celebrities, and I think that needs to be called out, because at the end of the day, these are humans and they deserve human respect. It's not okay the way we pick apart celebrities, but simultaneously we need to call things out when we see them go bad. And unfortunately and unavoidably, the people who are in the public eye are going to mess up or make mistakes or do questionable or positive things more publicly, and that is therefore going to be seen and criticized more often. My hope is that we can criticize things where they need to be and celebrate the things that deserve that celebration. And at the end of the day, that's what a celebrity is, right? That celebration of things. So be careful who you're celebrating and why. Always remember to be beautiful both inside and out. I love you, butterflies, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.